these people have tried to portray the group that they've ousted as being not radical enough. And one of the things I've heard them say is, we were trying to get socialists on the air, and we couldn't get socialists. Why did Bernard not have so-and-so, I can't remember who, some academic leftist socialist scholar. Do you know who it is?
Yeah, he's an economist, Richard Wolff.
Okay, why didn't he have this one and somewhere else? And somehow this gestalt is built that black nationalists are not socialists, and therefore, and that these people, these white, Mitch Cohn, Steve Brown, the great socialist.
They don't understand that you could be a socialist, a nationalist, and an internationalist.
Exactly.
At the same time.
And that you have to be.
But right.
But you have to be.
But see, they're not talking to you.
Yeah.
Because you understand it. They're talking to many people who
Right.
don't understand
So
it.
that's why I wanted to raise it here, because I know people who don't understand it come back to me and say, oh, they wanted to bring a socialist on the radio, and Bernard was against it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so this is before it's, I haven't even asked you if it's true.
Well, first of
I'm
all,
saying even if it's true, they're off there, well, we're not going back to where white people can pose and masquerade as revolutionaries because they believe in some abstract conception of socialism, but they can't be on a demonstration supporting Palestine, they can't support Hugo Chavez, they can't support black leadership right here in New York City, or Latino, whether it's Puerto Rican or Dominican, or just people of color. And socialism becomes a cover for white supremacy.
I love cover. First of all, going back to Richard Wolff, he was introduced to me by Michael Smith.
The lawyer, the attorney.
The lawyer, the attorney, Michael Smith. And
Who you put on BAI.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking about him for, he's been mentioning it to me for a while, but that day I came into the office and he was there on the program. And I think that Richard Wolff is a good economist, has a good understanding of what's going on in the economy. I have some issues with it, but I think he would make a good radio show. As a matter of fact, his son is also an economist, and I was thinking about having Wolff and Wolff, because I didn't think that there would be times when they both wouldn't be able to come because I don't know whether Richard is retired now, but he was in Boston, and he was teaching at UMass, I think it is, and I used to call him up there. And we would do shows. I've had him in on Wake Up Call on several occasions. Oh yeah, on several occasions. They conveniently omit that. I've had him in. He's also good friends with Bill DeFazio. Bill has had him in on several occasions, and I think he has a good, interesting analysis of what is happening in the economy right now. They are trying to make it appear, as you were saying, that that I'm. It's more insidious than that. There is this feeling that we have to paint him as not having any intellectual currency at all.
I think that's true too.
That he's a brute, he's a big bully, and he just pushes everybody around. He has no ability to think. No politics. And he just brings on his friends and puts them on the air.
Thugs. Thugs.
More accurately, that's how they've characterized them. Thugs, and puts them on the air without any thought at all. And of course that's not true, but they've been very successful in running and pushing that and touching on several things that we mentioned earlier about Steve Brown using the word he aped his behavior.
Yeah.
That was a very subtle way.
But
it was subtle to some. It screamed out at you. Oh. But it was it very subtly leads people, who have been inculcated all their lives with a certain belief about black people, about people of color, that, it kind of touches a little something in there, sparks something.
And before that, he used another image for you earlier. that you were intimidating, that you were standing on top of Indra. Was it Indra you said?
Indra.
Yeah, pointing at her, and so the
and
whole
then I
image
went
of
out
it
pumping my fist.
That's right.
I mean, just.
I wish you did more of that for your health.
But I mean, those are people who know me know that
that's not who you are.
Totally alien to anything that I would do. I mean, I don't even understand that kind of stuff. But it's an image.
It works.
It works.
Works
because
unconsciously. It feeds unconscious racist stereotypes.
Absolutely.
And there's no question that they've done that very effectively.
Well, that's Steve's job. When you look at it, Steve Brown's job is to try and get people to give him money to purchase things that they don't need and things that he knows don't work. I mean, when he first came to WBAI, there was a little radio that he had.
Oh, I heard about that.
The little BAI radio.
I heard about that.
It was only supposed to get radio station WBAI. But it wasn't made in America, so it wasn't calibrated for for our frequency. It was made in Taiwan or someplace overseas. And so when it came here, it didn't work. So he was trying to push for me to use this as a premium to give out to the people, and I refused.
You don't have problems with premiums.
I refused to do it because I said they don't work. And he said, so? I said, what do you mean, so? He said, well, the people, it says WBAI. They can use it as a WBAI button, and people will give just to get that. I said, but that's not what you're selling. You're telling me that this is a radio that works. And I think we wound up paying him. Now, when I say we, I mean the station manager wound up paying him for these things that did not work. But but he understands the use of the language. He understands if you consistently give the same message. Another guy back in history.
The big lie.
Another guy back in history understood that too.
Yeah.
You consistently give the same message. Sooner or later, you will get enough people to make a difference.
And he